What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. Got some more NBA news for you today. What else is new? And I apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little nasally. I'm a little sick right now, but that also just might be my voice. And I'm here, clocking in, doing what I got to do, doing what I love to do, which is talking to all of you fine people, connecting, spreading the love that I have for the game of basketball. And today I want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers because they've made a couple of moves. First of which is they have signed free agent center Thomas Bryant, aka TB, to a one-year deal, I believe on the veteran minimum, but I'm not sure about the financial structure of the deal. It was not disclosed yet. And they're also extending an invite, which I believe is like an Exhibit 9 contract or something like that, to Killian Hayes, which is also an interesting move. But I like both of these moves. So let me start with Thomas Bryant. Being the huge Wizards fan that I am, shout out DC, I love Thomas Bryant. I think he is a great player. I think he is a really good energy guy off the bench. I think he's a guy that could start for a lot of teams, honestly, but he's more of a bench reserve type of role now. And, he's a guy when he was with the Wizards was putting up, 13 points a game, getting, 7 boards a night, a block. Like he was really solid. He was shooting the three. He was shooting the three at 40.7% in the 2019-20 season. So he's a little bit older now. He just turned 28. And obviously he was a part of that Indiana team that just made it to the finals. I think a big piece of, him going to the Cleveland Cavaliers is the fact that he did have a pretty nice showing against the Cavs. There was one game where he came off the bench, put up 9 points in a hurry, didn't play a ton of minutes, but played tough defense, brought a lot of energy. He truly is like the definition of an energy guy. Like I think that is why he's been able to last in the NBA as long as he has. He's obviously got a lot of skill. He can stretch the floor. He can, shoot the ball from a bunch of different spots. He can post up. He can do a lot of stuff. But the energy, I think, is the thing that's the most contagious and infectious to his teammates. And having that guy in the locker room on the bench is just, it helps so much. So I'm a big fan of this move. I think he's going to do a really good job, backing up Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, right? They have a very strong front court there. And I think by getting Thomas Bryant in there, you're not necessarily disrupting, the flow of the defense or the offense, when you sub out one of them and put TB in. So shout out Thomas Bryant. I'm happy that he's, going to be in the NBA for another year. Certainly deserves it. And he's a solid player. He's a guy that also, was undrafted. Or no, he wasn't undrafted. Sorry. He was the 12th pick of the second round by the Utah Jazz in the 2017 NBA draft. I swear I thought he was undrafted. When did that happen? Well, I think he was on that team and then he got traded. Yeah, he got traded to the Lakers, then was in the G League. Okay, so, my point is that he's come a long way, right? He's done a lot, and he's proven himself, and he's had a pretty long NBA career, to this point. So hopefully it continues to be longer and longer and longer, right? Killian Hayes, though, different story, because I don't know if he's going to make the team. He's probably going to end up in the G League. Killian Hayes is only 24 years old. Okay, this dude was born in 2001. All right, which for me that sounds very young. Right, and I'm not that much older than him, but like, whatever. And he was the 7th overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. And I don't know if you guys remember, but this guy was getting absolutely slandered on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you could find on the internet that was talking about the Detroit Pistons in the 2023-24 season, right, when they had one of the worst seasons they've had in franchise history. Again, we're the worst team in the league and got the 5th overall pick. Just rough, okay? And he played absolutely horrible, right? 6.9 points per game that season. Shot 41.3% from the field, but under 30% from three. And for his whole career, he shot 38% from the field. That is tough, right? Like, it's hard to last in the NBA like that. And it's not like he's like some super small guard. You usually see like, a guy that's 6 feet tall, 5'11", 5'10", in the NBA, and they usually are the ones that have the lower shooting percentages because it's harder for them to get good shots because they have to shoot over everybody, right? This dude is 6'5", and he's still having trouble getting his shot off. Gets blocked all the time, right? So he got waived by the Pistons. I believe he got waived, right? He might have gotten traded and then he got waived, but I think he just got waived by the Pistons outright. And then winded up in Brooklyn this past season for about 6 games. He signed a 10-day contract. And then I think was back down in the G League. So, I mean, if it works out, great. But, I mean, they got Lonzo Ball on this team now in Cleveland. They did lose Ty Jerome, right? So maybe Killian Hayes is like the backup, right? Because you have Darius Garland, you have Donovan Mitchell. Those guys are going to get the bulk of the minutes in the backcourt. But they are pretty injury prone, right? So having Killian Hayes in your back pocket, he is an athletic dude. He's 6'5", he has size, right? I think the thing that they're trying to really have a lot of guards that have size. Obviously, Lonzo Ball's, 6'5", 6'6". Killian Hayes, another 6'5" dude that can, handle the ball at least. He can facilitate a little bit. He's just not a good offensive player at all. So we'll see what happens, but more likely than not, I don't think he's going to wind up on the regular season roster for this team. Might be an opportunity for him to hone his skills, if you will, and then, figure out, the next team to go to from there. But I think Killian Hayes has a place in the league. He's just got to really, he's got to really play above what he really can do and show out, and I think he can find a spot. Even if it's just as like a guy that comes in, plays 15 minutes a night, plays really tough defense, handles the ball, doesn't turn the ball over. Like, that's still something an NBA team could use. So we'll see what happens. But Thomas Bryant, Killian Hayes headed to Cleveland to start training camp. I'm going to catch you guys later, man. Stay up, stay blessed, stay safe, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.